question really, Alex, is that I'm really interested because you are a lawyer and you are a civic leader. How is it like in terms of your discipline in coming up with a book like this? You said it took you so many years to come up with this. Can you just walk us through, because these are, we have a group of really professional writers here, but they're also struggling writers. How is it like as a discipline for you personally?
Okay, Nor, thank you. I love that question because going back to the time that I wrote my first book, I really remember the discipline that I created. So it was August of 2004. Katatapos lang ng elections at the time, and the candidate that I supported, that I campaigned for, si Raul Rocco, did not win. I took a leave from my office. I campaigned, became his campaign manager in Negros because I really believe in him. And so when he lost, it kind of affected me. No? So from there, I channeled my my emotions to the writing of that book. Okay, so anong ginawa ko? No? I created a discipline, a writing discipline. I told myself 7 months, I will finish it. So ano yung discipline ko na ginawa? I told myself I should be home. I turned down I declined any evening invitations, dinners, meetings. I declined for 7 months. And I told myself I should be home before 7 o'clock in the evening so that I can have dinner with the family, then freshen up and sit in front of my study table by 8 o'clock in the evening. So, and 8 o'clock in the evening up to 11 o'clock in the evening every night for the next 7 months, that's my writing time. So my only target every night was just 1 page. 1 page lang. Sabi ko matatapos ko ito 1 page lang, no? Kasi 30 days plus 7, you have 210. 210 So sabi ko matatapos ko ito. Then but there were nights na walang pumapasok. And I turned off my phone. I refused any manood ng movies or TV. I refused kahit news wala, refused, no? So yung 8 to 11 na yon, holy hours yun for me. Holy hours yun for me. Then so yun, there were nights walang pumapasok. There were nights that I was just crying and praying na sabi ko, Lord, sana makatulong ito. Send me ideas and send me many people who can help me finish this book and spread the message of that book. I remember that I distinctly remember. I kept on praying nung patapos na yun. No? Sabi ko, Lord, send me many people who can help me spread the message of the book. No? And so natapos yun. After 7 months, tapos ko yung draft. So, tapos pina-edit ko lang sa asawa ko. Asawa ko lang yung editor. And nung natapos na, tapos papaprint ko na, sabi pa ng asawa ko, I told my wife, I would like to print 2,000 copies. My wife looked at me in the dining table, straight in my eye, and said, bakit? May kilala ka bang 2,000 friends? But my friend who owns si Rainer Puno, who owns a publishing, a printer, may printing siya. Sabi niya 2,000 copies daw yung minimum. So I went ahead, I printed 2,000 copies. Then nung dumating sa bahay, I distinctly remember this, dumating sa bahay, mga breakfast, so my wife brought 20 copies doon sa office niya, sa bangko. Ako naman, I brought 20 copies din sa office. Then, sa wife ko, kasi lawyer siya, every time na may pumunta sa office niya for legal consultation, binibentahan niya ng libro. So before the end of the day, naubos yung 20 copies niya. But here, the head ng HR ng bank nila, after reading the book, was inspired by the book, no? And so he wrote a beautiful summary of the book. And then he released it to all the banking industry, the mga contacts niya. And so yun, kumalat from there. So my first orders actually na marami coming from the banking people. Yeah. So so yung 2,000 copies ko naubos in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks time naubos. No? Then so I printed 10,000 copies, naubos din yon. I printed 10,000 copies the month of December of 2005, ubos yon. Ubos. So yun siya, no? Anyway, one story. December 15 of 2005. So this was 6 months after I released the book. I was driving my car coming from my office in Makati. I got caught sa traffic sa Paseo de Rojas. It was mga 5 something eh. So traffic. So yung cause ng traffic kasi may isang car na nag-stop na natigil, nasiran sa gitna ng daan. So akala ko naman, tapos may tao na nakalabas, no? They were trying to get a cab and at walang tumitigil. So naisip ko lang kaagad, sabi ko, may nangyari na kasi sa friend ko. Baka heart attack, kailangang dalhin sa hospital. So when my turn came, tinabihan ko yung sasakyan nila. Sabi ko, is it an emergency? Sabi ng secretary, sabi niya, yes sir. Sabi ko, oh halika. Then he got the old man from the car. It was actually a new car, no? BMW. Then nilabas yung matandang tao. Hindi ko natingnan masyado yung mukha. Nung nakapasok na, it turned out it was Max Sullivan. Then Max Sullivan, nag-exchange kami ng cards, tapos say hi, tapos hinatid ko siya doon sa bahay niya sa Green Hills kasi doon din yung papunta ko sa Club Filipino. Then 3 days later he wrote a beautiful article about the incident. In his column, he devoted his entire column article about that incident when we met, and he entitled that article "A Filipino of Faith," and that article went viral, and then he started receiving so many calls. Sabi niya, how do we contact Alex Lacson? How do we contact Alex Lacson? And Max Sullivan said, sabi niya, Alex, ginagawa mo na akong secretary sa kasasagot ng mga queries about yeah, and that's what happened. So, but because of that beautiful column that was written by Max Sullivan, the speaking invitations really picked up. It was like an airplane na bigla na lang siyang nag-take off. And it was because of Max Sullivan. And I would like to believe that Max Sullivan was an answered prayer. Kasi I kept on praying. Sabi ko, Lord, send me many wonderful people who can help me spread the message of the book. And okay, here's the part pa pala. I should tell you this. So, nung pinick up ko si Max Sullivan, kasi nasiraan yung BMW niya, hinatid ko siya sa bahay niya. The following day, tumawag siya sa akin. Sabi niya, Alex, you know, strange. When my driver brought my car to the service center ng BMW, they said nothing was wrong with the car. Tumigil lang doon. So I'd like to believe it was an answered prayer. Now for this second book, the discipline that I created, it took me really 8 years because the idea came to me after my kids. They were always asking me questions to help them with yung Noli Me Tangere na mga ano nila papers, reaction papers nila sa Noli Me Tangere. And sabi ko, pinapabasa sa inyo ito? So sabi ko, ako hirap na hirap ako basahin nung ano ito, tapos hanggang binabasa sa inyo. So, and sabi ko, ano pang relevance nito? Kasi the social cancer is no longer the same social cancer that we have today. So it struck me and sabi ko, I need to write a modern version of Noli Me Tangere. Para pagkatapos basahin yung Jose Rizal's Noli Me Tangere, I hope the teachers would also require them to write this modern version so that the students, while they are students, they would understand the social ills of our country. And maybe while they are there, they can think of ways on how to solve the problems. So it challenged me. So since then, this was 2011, 2012, I already started thinking of how to write that book. So, but I knew na I would include in that book a solution, a solution. So that's why doon sa likod, nandun yung white paper, di ba? Sa likod, yung Adhering Philippines. So because doon ako natagalan sa pag-research. Ano ba yung successful policies and ano bakit naging successful? How were they able to address poverty in the country? How were they able to address unemployment? Ano yung so doon siya natagalan sa research. And in writing the novel, because this is my first novel, structure. Ako, I'm a structure person. I need to have an outline first before I can write it down. So I began with tawag dito, yung a chapter outline. Pinuno ko muna yung chapter outlines ko. So ano yung kailangan laman ng chapter nito, laman ng chapter nito. Ano lang, no? Mga points lang, bullet points lang. Before I did the actual writing. When I would do the actual writing, alam ko na precisely how to write the chapter. So, and during the writing of the book, kasi I wrote it for mga, mga almost 10 months. No? 2019 hanggang 2020. Ang schedule ko naman for writing was early morning. Sometimes nagigising ako ng 4 o'clock and sometimes I would go up to 12 noon. So, yung morning ko na yon, holy hours yun for me. Walang makaka-disturb sa akin. So, and my best time for writing is really early morning. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, up to mga 12 noon. Then after lunch, that's the time that I would do my lawyer's work in the office.
Okay. 4 a.m. to 12 noon is 8 hours yun, ha? That's 8 hours. Wow.
Well, kung minsan hindi regular di ba? Hindi regular, but it's not a perfect time. But there were so many of those days that I did.
Yeah, thank you so much, Attorney Alex. Ang dami naming natutunan. Discipline, passion, love for country, patriotism, love, and the way God puts all these things together and puts people in your life, no, to make it happen. No, thank you so much.